Hello there, everyone. I wanted to kind of take a moment to talk about the Miraculous episode Qilin. I haven't done anything really talk about it. I like the show Miraculous, but I really wanted to talk about this specific episode. I just saw it, and I have to say, I think this is literally the worst episode they've done. Period. This is worse than Dabbing Santa. And hear me out when I go into it. I want you to kind of open your eyes to at least ears, at least hear me out on my thoughts on it. There are some takes that I'm not as fond about, and others, like just personally, the writing in this episode is absolutely terrible. It's like the worst episode I've seen. It makes no sense. It's kind of like where Chloe has a big redemption arc, and then they're like, I don't want Chloe as a character anymore. Bye-bye. Just make her go evil immediately. Like, literally building up, and then they're like, nah, go away. Here, gross character, get out of here. So with this episode, one of my problems right at the beginning, I'm just going to be kind of going through this. It's going to be really informal. I'm not going to show major clips, just pull up moments. So in the episode, you go through Sabine's daily life, morning. That's cool. I like that. We haven't seen a lot of Sabine. Don't know why she has a Chinese calendar living in France. Not a big deal. Maybe this has like Chinese fortunes or something. Kind of weird though, but this is like a minor gripe because it's like, why does she have a Chinese calendar? I know she's Chinese. So that was just a little weird. Not a big deal. Because maybe she's superstitious. In this scene, she's talking about, I believe it's like the fortune telling stuff, because she says like dog and moon or something. I don't remember. So the episode goes through, and she basically is like, it kind of looks like she's doing feng shui type of thing. So she sets up flowers. Okay, cool. Goes and gets the laundry. No problem. Laundry basket there. Why? That's very weird. Tai Chi stuff. A little weird, but not a bad thing. It's just, okay, sure. So then she opens that up, puts the sponge on the ground, makes the tea, art supplies. She pours herself hot water right here. I think it might be like seeping tea. Literally just said that, or just thought of that, so it might be like seeping tea, so like tea leaves are already in there. It's just weird. It looks like she's just, I'm gonna enjoy a nice cup of hot water. But this is where the problem comes in, is that she like centers herself, and now she's psychic because Marinette falls down the stairs, lands in it. What? How did she know by, I guess, fortune telling? Maybe that's what the calendar was, is a fortune telling thing. So fortune telling, and she spills her milk right here. Yeah, spills the milk. All of it gets absorbed by the sponge. Okay, how does she have fortune telling? How is she psychic? Huge problem right there. She's literally psychic in the beginning of the episode. Because, yeah, she put the sponge down, immediately picks it up. It took care of that. Right here, Marinette wants new shoes. Or said her old shoes are getting a little too small, so she wants new shoes, and those shoes are on sale. That one kind of makes sense, because it could just be her mother knows. So that one's not a big deal. Knowing Marinette would fall down the stairs, specifically, odd. She literally, and then the milk thing. Literally psychic in the beginning. So it goes through, no problem, family bonding, Akuma attack, teaching, painting, goes to her Chinese roots. This is cool. What? This is episode 20. I think this is the first episode Lila's in. She does nothing. Lila's literally just sitting there. So I feel having any other character in here, like Nadia Shamak, sure, she's not basically the antagonist of the show. No issues with her being in there. But because you can just, everyone likes doing, Sabine's teaching them painting. That's cool. nothing up to this point besides Sabine being literally psychic has bothered me. And her being literally psychic is just weird. So, Akuma attack, it's the lollipop again, which is weird. On a health standard, this bothers me a lot. So that was put out for everyone, and everyone's, like, touched it. And these are not family. If it's a family gathering, I don't have a problem with it. Just takes them. What? That's so weird. But maybe in Paris, that's not a big deal. Or France, it's not a big deal. So that could be a cultural thing. Even to myself, like, I'm not eating after other people in those kind of situations. Like, knowing they all did. That's a minor thing. Just a little weird. So Marinette's late as always. Bus driver is like, oh boy, this is where the whole thing falls apart. Right here. I'm sorry I took so long to get to here. This episode just frustrated me so much. This right here. Not this exact point. So bus driver's like, oh, do you have your ticket? And she's like, oh, I gotta find my tickets. Oh, if you could eat, I don't remember what they call these, but these little snacks. Sure. Sharing them. Light little bribing of the bus driver, you know, to get him to hold up. So, Marinette can get there. No issues. So they have, and like right here, they have snotty businessman, wheelchair guy. And, oh, I just skipped it. Okay, he's in the wheelchair spot. He's standing in the wheelchair spot. So now Sabine's literally psychic. Again. She knows all the things. So see, the wheelchair is not, doesn't have the brake on. That's what it's called. Doesn't have the brake on. Puts down her brush. She saw the stoplight coming up. And in turn, the bus stops. He, like, bumps into him. Or no, sorry. Hold on. Let me just show a little bit. He slips on it. The bus guy immediately goes in there perfectly well. Now, if anyone knows anyone who has a wheelchair, are wheelchairs hard to sit on in a bus? Why is he struggling that much? Seriously, because I feel like if you just hit the brake, I understand accessibility, because I believe they have those spots, so that they're majorly out of the way of people walking by. Correct me if I'm wrong. This I'm not sure about. So correct me. I'd like to know. He was already out of the way, but he, like, couldn't sit still in it. He was like, oh no, the bus is moving me too much. Brake. Being in this spot in particular, they don't, like, have things grab your wheelchair. I don't think they do. Underneath. Nothing has grabbed his wheelchair to make sure he can't move. I don't know why he's perfectly fine sitting here in another spot, completely unfine. If they had more people on the bus, sure, why not? That's fine. Like, he was getting bumped around. He was in someone's way trying to hold groceries. I know that would make him kind of look like the bad guy, and he's not. He's just riding the bus. 100% respectable. But it just doesn't make sense to me that, and I think, at least here, where I live, they have, like, little, like, lift things that, like, go down. They pick up the wheelchair goes on it. It lifts it back up. How do you get on a wheelchair? You can't climb stairs. So that's how it does it. At least the bus here, where I currently live, in Maine. Wouldn't the bus driver notice that when he got on the bus? Maybe there isn't spot. Who knows about that? That one's a minor gripe. But this entire, so she was literally psychic and got him to immediately go there. I really don't like that. Marinette wants to buy a present for her mother, so her mother says, "Give me the Marinette doesn't have pocket change on her, and asks for money for the bus to go pick up a gift for her mother. She's like, I really want to pick something up. I think she says pick up like an album of Adrian, obviously to throw her mother off. But so she goes on, gets flowers, very nice looking flowers, good Mother's Day gift, because this was to make up for Mother's Day. So Sabine has the purse. The tickets are in this purse. Sabine's ID is in the purse and everything. Personal one, the big handbag is just for carrying her extra things. So I can explain away that reason that Sabine has no identification whatsoever. Marinette, as always, late, doesn't get on the bus. So once again, she counts down here. She's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Immediately knows that Marinette's calling her. Predictable because Marinette was gone. Okay, sure. I'll get off at the next bus stop. And this character, the one that I've made this episode, I'm making this over. I know I'm talking a lot. This pisses me off so much. Because this episode is to showcase, I believe, by the creators thing. This could be something I'm wrong. And if I am, I apologize. 100%. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw people saying. I think I saw a lot of hype up that this is a anti-racism episode. It's to show like the problems with racism. So dickhole over here goes on the bus and he's like, show me your ticket. Is this a thing in France? Does anyone know? Is that a thing in France? She got on the bus with the ticket. Do they need to check the ticket again at every stop? She's literally standing there. He's there. I get it. If there were a lot of people rushing on the bus while he's at the stop, you would check. You would check it. That makes sense to me. She's literally on the bus already. 100% clearly, not accidentally. So she's like, I want to get off the bus to wait for my daughter. And he's like, no, you don't have a ticket. So she gets fined. I think it also, and she also gets fined 50. I don't know if they say it there, but she gets fined. I don't want to play it because I don't want this to get copyright and struck down immediately. But he's basically saying, we need to go to the police because you don't have a ticket. So she's like, what? No, I paid for the ticket. My daughter has it. And he's like, ha ha, get the dumb businessman. I know people are like, haha, he's racist. No, in his mind, she wronged him. What, like, does that make sense? Like, and this is the problem, is that, I believe he just, like, takes, this is the, I'm just gonna call him the inspector. The inspector, like, just takes his word for it, I believe, that she didn't pay. Now, literally no one stood up and said, yes, she paid for a ticket. This is my problem with it. And I understand it's a kid's show, so that if they want to push something, they're going to push it. If they want to show something, they're going to show it. They'll ignore logic. Penalty team had an issue. The akumatized object got sent up in the air. Pegasus, grab it, snap, done. Easy peasy. But they went through the whole thing. That was fine. It was just the generic loophole to have the episode go longer. But this, they're trying to be like, the world is racist, or this guy is racist. No one else stood up for her. Hey, you know what? Bus driver. You know what they never ask? Bus driver. This, and I believe that this world is way more advanced than our current world with like some of the technologies and stuff that they have. Maybe it's not. Are there cameras on buses? Could just check the film on the bus. Just saying. Like, everyone looks like kind of pissed off or irritated or worried. Looks pissed off, concerned. Now this guy's just a dick. Does not give any shits. She literally helped him. He doesn't care at all. And I've seen a lot of people arguing that it's because everyone's racist because she's Chinese. Well, what about the black girl here? If you just want to argue racism, why isn't it only whites in Paris? So, but Chinese or Asian, I guess, because they wouldn't technically know she's Chinese. So no one stands up for her literally at all. So Marinette, bummed out. Oh, okay, so she like took the guy's word. There are so many characters that could have done a much better job showcasing it. Showcasing being a douche, having more influential power. If they want to show abuse of power. I don't remember his name. It's the movie, the movie guy. Hold on. Try and find him. I don't want that. What's his name? Gold coin. Evil. Commitize villains. Anyway, so it's the guy who does all the movies and stuff. I can't find his name right now. Oh, hold on. Let's scroll down here. This is out of date. Anyway, so it's the guy who like directs. He was Jagged Stone's producer. So sorry, I'm trying to find his name. But he's always been a jerk to everyone, even people actively trying to help him. Bob Roth. So Bob Roth is a jerk to everyone. So the fact that Bob Roth, I got here first, I'ma stand in the handicap spot. I can lean here, I'm on a business call. Sure. Because he's a jerk. The show is established he's a jerk. He has influence because he has lots of money. So people someone tries to stand up for him and he abuses his power. Like, this guy's lying because I didn't put him in a movie, something like that. So he could abuse his power. Lila hates Marinette, hates Ladybug, probably wouldn't like Marinette's family, so could just lie. Oh, I didn't see the ticket. I don't know when she got on here. That could go. Lila's already an established antagonist. Then you've got Chloe. Chloe doesn't like... Now, Chloe wouldn't be on public transport. Bob Roth would not be on public transport. But if they had the mayor on there and Chloe was pulling his arm, you could have Jagged Stone on it. Once again, Jagged Stone wouldn't be on public transport, but those would make for more compelling things, because they're already the antagonist and they hate Marinette, so Sabine. Or, and I'm not saying the mayor does, and Jagged Stone doesn't hate Marinette, but he could have been like just out of it. He's like, I need this spot for my crocodile or something. It would have been a little bit more engaging. Could have music and didn't see it. Whatever. Also, bus driver walked right past. Right past. Even after doing a favor. Nah, whatever. Who cares? Loser. Bye-bye. So is everyone supposed to be racist? Remember the Dupan Chang Bakery, which she is a front runner in. You know, thus the Dupan Chang Bakery. It's not a very French name, I don't believe. Well, sorry, Dupan is, I believe that's like the bread or something. I don't know. But, and even if it is all French, she's very prominent figure there. And it's like one of the most popular bakeries in Paris. Hello. She would be at least a sort of well-known figure, you'd think. If like, because I think Jagged Stone goes there. They had the famous Psychomedian. I don't remember the comedian's name, but he goes there. So many other ways to go about it. But they go with the ticket guy. The ticket guy, or sorry, the inspector is racist, and they keep arguing that. But he's just an asshole. You don't say immediate racism because she's Chinese, it must be racist. She didn't have a ticket. If she showed a ticket and it's like, I don't like Chinese people here, okay, sure. She didn't have a ticket. There is cause for the hate. Is he an asshole? Absolutely. No one stood up for her. Why couldn't the business guy have shut everyone down? Have some influential figure. They could have had Mrs. Tsurugi on there. Because she literally couldn't see it. She's blind. So she wouldn't be riding the bus either. They could have had other characters. And then Roger Kopp. Roger Kopp's an idiot. He's a well-known idiot in the show. And I know people are like, haha, this is to massively showcase police brutality. And maybe that is, if the writer says that is the case, I can't argue it. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. If they say Marinette has yellow hair, she has yellow hair. She just dyes it. She has natural yellow hair, she just dyes it. The writer has the final say, no matter what. They're not doing a good job depicting it. So they go through, and Roger Kopp is friendly to Marinette's parents, frequents the bakery. Like the Christmas special, everyone goes to the bakery, even Chloe, meaning the bakery is very well known, because the mayor of Paris goes there, Jagged Stone goes there, a famous comedian goes there. It's not some unknown bakery. So one, his sandwich looks disgusting now that I'm freezing it. That looks vile. So we need to take you to the police, is what the inspector is doing. So right here, oh my god, that's so moldy. That looks disgusting. So, Roger Kopp's like, yeah, I know Sabine. Like, I've known you for a long time. Our daughters go to school. You're making up your daughter. Ha! You're just evil. And one of the things he says, I'm gonna play this one bit, because this is what everyone's like. This is racism. This is definite proof of racism. And leave a comment below if you think it is racism or not. I think he's just an asshole. But I'm gonna pull up where that is and play it. This is the part that a lot of people are saying, so here it is.
What? But that's so unfair.
What's unfair is committing fraud and stealing from Parisians who do pay for their tickets, ma'am.
Stealing from Parisians who do pay for their tickets. He doesn't believe she belongs there. Whether that is the intended case or not, how it's written is not well. Because how it's written is, or how it's delivered, she didn't pay for a ticket. It's not because she's Chinese. Now, if he accused her, if you want to have it be racism, the second he sees her on the bus, and she's not, I don't know, sitting down, because there are plenty of seats. Why are you stealing from Parisians? No, that's not what it is. You can choose to see it that way. You absolutely can. You can force to say, this guy is racist. No, he's an asshole. Like a lot of the characters are stupid. Like Roger Kopp is stupid. He knows Sabine, and he says, we need to take you in to check your identity. Sabine, we have to go to the police. You're literally saying her name. Now, that could be abuse of power. Sure. This episode does a fairly good job of showing abuse of power, not of racism. I see so many people like, best episode yet. Is it because you think it's trying to fight racism? The animation, not very good throughout it. I mean, like right here, not very good. What the hell is up with his skin color? He looks like he's very, very ill. Like deadpan stares. Like, I don't like this. I don't like the animation throughout the entire episode, and that's pretty universally accepted, is that the animation is not very good in this episode. So it goes through, stop the police, hey, Sabine, blah, 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 and then it's, hold on, right here, a phone call goes, he takes her purse, destroys her painting picture. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a picture or a painting. Probably painting because of the class she took. Her all her things fall on the ground, and then they intimidate her. They're like, "Oh well, I've been as calm as I can be, but I'm gonna put you in boop." Literally puts her in handcuffs. The police officers are dead drones now. Apparently they've never met her. And they argued, "Oh, I'm just following orders." So that fits Roger's personality because he's an idiot and he's written really stupid. Because the second someone tries to confront him, he's like, "No, I am the law." You know, like how he got akumatized. Because he said, "I am the law." Huh? So, he's always abused his power. But then they kind of flip-flop. So when it's convenient, he's way too strict. And when he's not, and then he just flip-flops back and forth. Don't really like that. For the character, because if you liked Roger Kopp, it's just, he's going to be a bad guy for this episode. So it goes through, Hawkmoth is like, yes, we should akumatize you. Everyone sees her getting akumatized. And I think the fact that they're trying to be, like, more aggressive towards her is to show, I don't know, police brutality or racism. Usually the police don't get that involved in the show. In the beginning, at the beginning, canonically of the show, they absolutely do, because they didn't know about Cat Noir and stuff. And they do butt heads a little bit, like with, I think an episode called Copycat, where... I think it was a photographer who took the picture. No, a sculptor who made the sculpture of Cat Noir and Ladybug. Ladybug didn't show up. He was mad, akumatized, whatnot. But that was, Cat Noir was seen committing a crime. So she gets akumatized. Sorry, she starts to get akumatized and it's like, "No, I can't do it. I won't get akumatized." Fair enough. So she's trying to fight back at it, and then it's like, "Oh, well, you're judging me by not knowing like what my motives are." And I think that's another one where people are trying to spin it as this is about racism. It's Hawkmoth. He's literally just he simulates, like, when the baby doesn't get what they want, it's like, "Oh, well, someone took away my toys too." He's literally just trying to manipulate people. That's what Hawkmoth does in every situation. That's how you akumatize someone. But so she resists it, and I thought she was just going to resist it entirely, besides the fact I know that she is the one who gets akumatized. And then she gets akumatized, and the design on this, her Qilin is what her name is as an Akuma villain. Awesome. I love her design. It is so freaking cool. Marinette finds out. They go. The bus driver. She got taken away because she didn't, like, pay for the ticket. Like, the bus is tiny. So here's her design. Super cool. Love the design. Don't know why the handcuffs also. The Akuma flew into her handcuffs, but. And literally she's like, "Uncuff me." Or, I think she says, "Take these things off." Anyway, she wants to be uncuffed. She doesn't want to be chained anymore. But she is, like, destroying everyone. Wind power sent them flying. And I think she's doing, it'd be like, obviously I'm choosing, like, the easiest one, but it's like downward dog, flipping turtle, stuff like that. So I think it's either feng shui or like Tai Chi stuff, I think. Feels a little odd, but hey, sure, whatever they want for the power, she can say whatever. And then this inspector guy is like telling Roger Kopp what is Roger Kopp? I'm just gonna keep on Roger Kopp. Roger Kopp, what to do? He checks tickets. What kind of what is his power? Like, is he a high-ranking official? Why is he getting to pull the shots? They also literally made his laugh. I kid you not. Like, could you make it any more obvious? This guy's the villain. I mean, he is the villain, but obviously. Or the antagonist, I guess I should say. So they're like, oh, call in right here. She's just like, uncuff me. And she goes to destroy this. And or she pulls this down. And it's going to like drop it. She's like, uncuff me or I'm going to drop a building on you. Keep that in mind. Whose building is this? Are these innocent people whose building is being thrown? All the cars, that car, innocent person suffering. Is that fair? All the cars she stacked up through. Is that fair? The cop cars, sure. Those are her enemy. They're not seen as innocent in her eyes. Absolutely. That person's car, well, some of the vans are cop vans. But it goes through Ladybug, and she's like, hey, stop this. You know, let's try and clear up the mess. And it just keeps going where it's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. So she starts attacking Ladybug and Cat Noir. Oh, also, her Lucky Charm? Let me see if I can pull up where the Lucky Charm is. Her Lucky Charm is... I don't think she transformed there yet. Nope, that was an animation error. That's fine. So, she, like, Qilin is just constantly saying, like, take these handcuffs off. Take these handcuffs off. Ladybug and Cat, so she flips over the police. These have police officers in them. She sends them back in. Take these off. Take these off. What happened? And it's like, oh, she was to blame. I'm just following orders. I get it. They're like, they're not supposed to be smart because they don't want them to be smart, have any inkling of brain. It's a kid's show, so that kind of writing is pretty prolific. You know, adults are dumb, kids are cool. But it goes through, and yeah, so she's like, right here, it's his pig-headedness to never admit he's wrong that's clashing. Not he's racist. Because I believe it's, she's saying effectively, because they say the same thing, it's like, it's the principle of it. So, because Ladybug just said, what if we got Marinette to clear it up and prove the tickets? So it goes through the battle. He's like, I'm the villain. They send helicopters. Yeah, just use wind powers. Helicopters will definitely work. Oh yeah, her Lucky Charm's a laser gun. Revive me, bro. I've got a ray gun. So it goes through. She needs the keys. That's what she's aiming for. And then the police create a barrier. Oh, let's see where the barrier is. There it is. Obviously this is through Marinette's vision, Ladybug's vision, whatever you want to say, to identify. They literally created a like Spartan shield. Blow wind at it. Ta-da. That's too much thinking for it. I understand that. So they do this, and they walk over the hole, and he gets the keys. Gives him a Ladybug, and it's like, here, I'm gonna give you the keys. She's like, oh yeah, well, no. It's fair. I said I would stop if I got the keys. You destroyed innocent people's buildings. You destroyed innocent people's vehicles. Was that fair? That's why I said, was that fair? That just doesn't make any sense. Why she's like, oh, well, fair. And then she breaks out of being akumatized. Because right here, it's like, oh, they're going to fight. And she unakumatizes herself. Why? That's stupid. Like, I'm okay with it happening, but she's like, oh, well, you know, that's fair. What? You just destroyed a bunch of people's crap, and you're like, oh, it's fair. So it goes through, and the ending part right here is they come up and they try to reconcile, and right here it's like, oh no, she's one of the most trustworthy people in Paris, and they just immediately fold. And he's like, oh, you know what? I guess I do know you, Sabine. Yeah. And I know that they usually do that, like, quick change of heart type thing. Why'd Roger have to get involved to make him less likable? Why not just this guy? I don't get that. Also, what he literally checks tickets. How important is he? Maybe that's a Paris thing. So he gets upset. And Marinette comes by and it's like, oh my god, you did have a daughter. Wow, here's the ticket. So he's like angry. Oh, it's because she... And these are things I've said. It's like, oh, it's because he's racist. He checks it and he's like, oh my god, I was wrong. You really did have a ticket. Because of his pig-headedness. And then this is the dumbest fucking thing. The entire thing. Roger Cop basically says, like, hey, no, she shouldn't have to pay that fine for being on it, which is like 50 euros. Or pounds. I don't remember what they say. I think it's euros. I'm just going to say $50. So it's $50, and it's like, hey, maybe we should be able to do something about that ticket. And he's like, oh, well, you know, that'll be tricky. No, the issue's been solved. She proved she has a ticket. So then right here, I believe it just was said, Marinette's like, I'll pay it. Why the fuck would you pay it? You're not in the wrong. There's no question at this point. You're not in the wrong here. And it's like, oh, that's a very responsible thing for you to do. Pay an illegal ticket? The ticket is given illegally. It's like, I think you're given a ticket if you drive without a license. If you go to court, this is in the United States, if you go to court and present your license, like nothing else was wrong, no ticket. Because you have, or maybe it's insurance. There's one of those things, and maybe this is just in Maine. Because, you know, traffic laws are different all over the world. But it's like, oh, I don't have my ID on me today. You know, I'll just show it tomorrow. Or driver's license. I don't have that on me today. I can show it tomorrow. I have a valid driver's license. I just don't have it on me. And I think that covers it. I think you have 48 hours to supply it. Something like that. Not sure. But this, you were falsely accused, cleared the mess up, and Marinette's like, yeah, I'll just pay $50 to the people who lied. That'll make it up to my mom. Instead of us clearing up the issue, I'll say, we were in the wrong, so I'll pay. Sorry, we weren't in the wrong, but I'm still gonna pay. That's not justice. That's not fair. And she's like, oh, that's sweet of you. This is the worst episode the show has done yet. Simple Man. Dabbing Santa. Because Simple Man was one of the most frustrating episodes in the show for me. But it was nothing compared to this episode. The writing was terrible. The animation was mediocre. It's better than I can do, absolutely. But so much of this was garbage. No one stood up for her. The plot had no clue where it was going. I think people are saying it's a good episode because they're like, it must be about racism. I can't say it's not good or I'm a racist. This isn't about racism. If you want to push it, it's abuse of power. But also every single Chloe episode is abuse of power. But this is the police abusing it. Well, Chloe makes the police do her bidding by her father, being the mayor of Paris. So this is not a good episode. If you like it, I'm happy you like it. I don't want to take anything away from it. I know I'm just ranting for 40 minutes about this. This episode has made me the angriest the show has. I did read some stuff that Thomas was saying where he's literally like, yeah, if you're not like 10 years old, fuck you. I don't care if you're a fan or not. This is designed for children, but we're also going to touch topics on racism really, really poorly. We're not even going to, like, try it. Because with kids, they usually over-exaggerate everything. Or kid shows, I should say. Like Roger Kopp being, you know, he's the dumb guy policeman. He is so obsessed with it. They all go over the top in shows. No issues with that. That's how these shows work. Like Marinette's reactions, grossly over the top. But it's a show, you accept it. It's fine. This didn't even... If he went on the bus, if you want to make this about racism, after getting helped, the wheelchair guy glares at her, is upset with her. How dare an Asian help me? Okay, now the people on the bus aren't working with it. You want to go another step towards racism. The bus driver, when given, if you want to push racism in it, which that's okay. If you want to teach that lesson to kids, it's a great lesson to teach kids to treat everyone equally. If you want to push that lesson, the bus driver was a piece of crap. He wouldn't touch Chinese food. Ew, gross. That would work. And then, because then the bus driver wouldn't be on her side. The business guy's not on her side, not because of racism, but because he's been wronged. Have the wheelchair guy not okay with the fact that it's an Asian who helped him. So he's just like, ugh, how dare you help me? Even if he just smug, whatever look. Have, when she gets on the bus, the other people go away from her. Like she, you know, goes on one of the poles and they're the pole beside her and they have to move further away into a cramped area. That would be avoiding an Asian person. That would be way more clear. This, and that line I showed you for paying Parisians. It's not saying she's not Parisian. Not saying she's not from Paris. Saying she didn't pay. She's a thief. If he accused, went on there, get off the bus, you didn't pay your ticket. And then she can't display the ticket. That would be racism because he looked at her with nothing and accused her. But he asked, give me the ticket. She's literally the first person in the door. Now, another way, asking for the ticket. There's a bunch of other people there, and he literally weaves through the crowd and then targets her. You could go with that. If you want that message, it's okay. I don't have a problem with that being the message. Try a little harder. Use characters that fit better. I understand if they're trying to push racism, they don't want to show Chloe is racist. Well, no, you can't have Chloe racist because she just hates Marinette. Can't have Lila, just hates Marinette. Can't have. So you have to have a new generic character so that it could be racism. And you can do that, try harder. Because just with it doesn't make sense for it to be racism based off of 3 lines. One of the things, the stereotyping thing, because they go a lot into it, and this might get me the most in trouble out of anything I'm saying, is that they want to have stereotypes. It can be considered racist to assume black people like fried chicken. I think everyone likes fried chicken because fried chicken's delicious. I love fried chicken. If you want to argue racism, she does only Chinese things in the morning. She's from China, has close ties. I mean, she's literally wearing like a Chinese outfit. That's okay. I'm not arguing that's racism. But she only did Chinese things. She lives in France. You want to argue it, you're not doing a very good job of showing it. People are showing up to her class. I know you don't have to have everyone's racist. It could be one specific individual is racist. Here's another way you could do it. It would work better if it's against Marinette, but let's use Sabine. Sabine goes into her class. She sets it up. The guy walks in and he's like, "Oh, gross. One of your kind is trying to teach." I know I'm being overly dramatic, but then not overly dramatic. I'm being like slightly reductive. There's no nuance to it. Is clearly stated. If it's not clearly stated, a lot of the time it can go right over a kid's head. Like all the dirty jokes in Disney movies, the like 90s Disney movies, which they had as a kid, way over the head. No clue what the hell's going on. But in this, if Thomas Ostrich, if I'm saying his name wrong, oops. If the creator of the show says it's about racism, it's about racism. I can't do anything to change that, no matter what. Like I said, if he wants to change her eye color right now, he can. At any point. He has final say. He's the writer. The writers have final say. Even above the animation, they could literally just say, they messed up the entire time. For the 4 seasons, she was supposed to have green eyes, and they messed up every single shot. And technically, that's true. I believe it's canon versus continuity, or canonality versus continuity. Where continuity is that it should make sense in the show's world, versus canon, whatever the author says is canon. Doesn't matter, he can just rewrite something. So, this, I think, was the least enjoyable episode. This episode didn't need to exist, or they needed to put more time and effort into it. They could have had Sabine going around and, I don't know, maybe being, like, stalked by the guy who's like, I'm checking to make sure you don't steal things. You know, we know Asians do that. I don't know. Just come up with some Asian stereotype for a crime they would commit. I don't know what it would be. That would make sense. Something better than exclusively you got a ticket. I know one of the other things, I'm actually not going to get into that because that's even more nuanced and I don't feel as strongly about it. But this episode was garbage. It made her psychic. In the beginning, she's like literally psychic, and then she can't predict if she gives her wallet to her daughter, who's always late. Always late. That there could be consequences to it. There could be consequences to her daughter having her ticket. Because is it a common thing to have tickets checked? It didn't, like, no one else was like, what the heck is he talking about in the show? If it's a common thing in Paris to have tickets checked, why wouldn't she think of that? Or even France, because I know it can go outside of that. Why wouldn't she think of that? They didn't have the bus driver stand up. The bus driver could have stood up, and he's like, no, I know what I saw. Don't cover for, and I know they wouldn't use the language, but it's like, don't cover from a thieving outsider. There we go. We'll go with that. Stealing, don't cover for a thieving outsider. A parasite. An outsider parasite. Chinese parasite. I don't know. Something else. You need a little bit more, because you can interpret it however you want. And I have nothing but respect for anyone who wants to interpret it. It is literally the least enjoyable episode. And honestly, right here when she's psychic, in the beginning of it, I'm like, why is she psychic? But okie dokie, whatever. Cause I kind of liked, they've been doing it throughout the show where characters have like the hyper specific vision to see that kind of stuff. Which I believe is just them formulating a plan. I believe that's how it's explained. It's not actually a superpower, because they've had other characters use it who don't have superpowers. So it's just them formulating a plan, and it helps the audience identify what is the most important thing. Because if they just showed a traffic stop and they didn't identify the light, we'd be like, I don't know, what's going on? Why is she looking at her paintbrushes? That's what? But out of any episode, this one has been my least favorite, because, and I think Simple Man is the second worst one, because it just doesn't feel like a good episode. They did not explain the message in this at all. If this is to push a message, the message is lost unless you want to find it. Maybe I just don't see racism in every single act of humanity. Are there racists? Absolutely. Is it terrible? Absolutely. It is abhorrent behavior. It should never be accepted. If a black guy sneezes and I go and I walk away from him, it's not because I'm racist, it's because he sneezed. I would do the same thing if it was a white person. I would do it if it was a baby. I don't like germs. So, I would move away. There are certain, she didn't provide a ticket. The Roger Kopp holds no ill will to anyone in the Dupan Chang family. He's just being the same stupid guy he is. He literally identifies her. I think they just wanted to push that message, and this is a filler episode that's terrible and did not need to exist. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but this angers me so much because I genuinely like this show. I love this show. I don't talk about it very much, but like the second of new episodes, I'm like, I gotta watch this stuff. I've renewed Netflix multiple times just to watch it. That's how I've watched most of it. The newer episodes I've watched on, like Spectrum. I've done free trial on Disney Plus. I've watched them in multiple areas, and this one's downloaded so that I can clip through it. And I watched it legit. I want support going to the creators of the show. I was gonna say Thomas, but it goes to the entire team. This is not how you do it. It's not a good way to do it. This is the worst episode they've done. There are a lot of things in this season which have been amazing and then utter garbage. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, I have thoughts on the Cat Noir Ladybug situation. Leave a comment. I can definitely make a video ranting about that as well. But this one, nothing in the show has made me that angry. I've made comments on the Reddit thread, because I'm really passionate. Like Kuro Neko, I thought was an awesome episode, and I was like hyping the hell up of that in Reddit because I thought it was awesome. I genuinely enjoyed that episode, even though it didn't have everything I wanted in it. But I thought it was awesome. The finale, part 1, I'm like, what? Oh, I'm so excited for that. At this point, I don't know if I really have too much more to say. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to check out some of the other things I've done, I do gameplay videos primarily. I stream on Twitch. You can come hang out with me. I'll talk about anything. You can leave a comment about anything in any video, and I'll talk about it. I have no issues with that. I would love to do that. Like, even if it was on a Pokemon, and you're like, hey, what'd you think of the new episode of Miraculous? Like, whatever, that's cool. I'll talk about it. Mess me on Twitter or anything like that. I hope I made my point concise and clear. It was absolutely not concise. I hope I got the message I wanted to say clear about it. More so, it's an outrage at my outrage at people's reaction to it and how poorly the story in this episode was. There are a lot of them I haven't enjoyed the story in. I feel they're 100% filler. And this one, besides the amazing Qilin, I think Qilin. I always get that wrong. Literally what the episode's named after. What Sabine transformed into. Truly amazing. That's it. That was the best thing about it, was how it looks. Her powers were cool too. This episode did not need to exist though. So, that's about all I have to say. Thank you for listening to me rant for almost an hour if you've gotten to this point. Leave a comment down below. Nasty or otherwise, I would appreciate a comment. I have a discussion in there if you want to. I'm happy to share my thoughts in it. I hope you enjoyed. Or I hope it maybe was educating a little bit. Thank you very much for watching.